Hello grade 6! Welcome back to my channel. So it's me, Ma'am Ann. So today's topic about separating mixtures, which is weeks 5, 6, 7, and 8. Hanggang matapos ang quarter, separating mixture po tayo. So it covers 4 weeks. So mahaba-haba po itong lesson na to. Then every week you have you have to answer the learning test that I gave you. They ano pa bang gagawin nyo? But today you have to answer first our summative test, our first summative test about the previous lesson that we have. So congratulations dahil natapos natin yung 1 month series ng modular series. Ganon. Okay, so alam natin na merong bagyo, but in every storm there is sunshine after. At charot! You're the sunshine after the rain. Okay, so now, focus na tayo. So again, sa letter I natin, so you have to learn that mixture can either be homogeneous or heterogeneous. So ano ulit yung homogeneous? Yun yung uniform, and heterogeneous is non-uniform. Okay, again, sa homogeneous, invisible siya and it cannot be identifiable. And then sa heterogeneous, visible pa yung materials and ma-identify pa natin kung ano-ano pa yung mixture na nasa loob ng mixture. So now, depending on their appearance and the composition of materials in this lesson, you are expected to demonstrate understanding of different techniques in separating mixtures such as decantation, evaporation, filtering, sieving, and using magnet. So when we say demonstrate, kailangan nyo i-demonstrate or kung saan na i-vlog mo or something. But hindi ko na siya i-require na mag-vlog kayo. Meron lang tayo certain activities na gagawin, and then para ma-achieve natin yung objectives sa lesson na to. So, demonstrating the decantation, evaporation, filtering, sieving, and using magnets. So, these are the examples of separating mixtures. And now, when we say decantation and evaporation, filtering, sieving, and using magnet, ito na yung mga iba't ibang paraan paano natin mahihiwalay yung given mixture, then pero may kalkulan siyang for example, dito sa evaporation, meron lang siyang certain na mixture na for evaporation lang talaga. And then sa filtering, ganun din. Sa sieving, ganun din. Sa decantation, ganun din po. So, examine figure 1 below. Ito yung figure 1. Meron tayong illustration dito. So, examine natin yan later. So, there are ways by which mixtures must be separated to make them available and help us in our daily activities. What are some benefits that we are derived from different mixtures around us? So, ano pa yung mga benefits natin in this separating techniques or separating mixtures? Dahil magagamit naman natin siya everyday. Okay, hindi natin sabing everyday, pero magagamit natin siya in our life. And then, ma-apply natin siya. Okay, in what ways can these mixtures can be separated to make them useful in our daily life? So, ganun po. So, ito na nga yung sinasabi ko, i-apply natin, magagamit natin, makikita natin. So, this is very important to know na there's mixtures, separating techniques mixture na ating pag-aralan. So, now, punta na tayo dito sa illustration. So one, the transferring liquids from the other containers. There are two containers that contains different materials, and then when they combine, so we use the magnet to separate that kind of mixture. So another example there is separating large particles versus small particles, ganun po. Dito naman is okay, it's obvious that this drawing or illustration evaporation siya, and then this one i-apply natin dito yung decantation. Let's assume that this is a mixture of oil and water, then it is very easy to separate this mixture kasi ito-transfer lang natin siya gently in another container. Pero mas maganda talaga na actual yung magagawa din para ma-observe nyo rin. But this one is you have to use funnel and filter paper kasi it separates then the large particle dense. If you want to separate liquid to solid na merong maliliit na tiny particles, so you use I recommend to use filter paper to separate that mixture. So now, so in figure 1, it shows that heat is used to cook rice, and then these are times that the rice quality is affected by the presence of some tiny stone. Lalo na kapag ang bigas ay ang palay ay doon natin di ba ano pa natin siya sa binibinad pa yung palay, then pag natuyo igigiling, then magiging rice na siya. So may pagkakataon talaga na yung mga bato na nasali doon, and then we need to separate that by the use of malalaki. Kung makikita naman natin siya at matatouch, we use that our hands to pick that tiny stone. So that is it is also the sample of separating mixture. So there are times that the rice quality is affected by the presence of some tiny stones or plant parts mixed together. So yung iba yung mga balat-balat ng palay natin ay nandun pa rin siya sa ating rice. Okay, let's assume na nagsasaing tayo. Kapag yung nalutang na mga yun yung some parts of the plant na na-mix dun sa rice. And then nilagyan natin siya ng water, diba? Nalutang siya. Okay, pag itinapon natin yung part na yun ng liquid, so another separating mixture na naman siya. That is a decantation. Dahil ang inalis lang natin is yung tubig dun sa rice na merong pang mga balat ng palay. So that is another example of separating mixture. So first is the handpicking, yung easily to pick the tiny stone. And then, yung decantation para maalis yung palay, yung balat ng palay dun sa rice. So, now, in practice sa handpicking, we'll separate the tiny stones such as the rice grains would be more safe to consume. Yan po. Another example of separating mixture, the use of magnet. So, is useful in mining irons in many processes and industries to remove metals contaminants from product streams. In our community, waste are segregated for utilization of biodegradable. Okay, when we say biodegradable, ito yung mga waste na nabubulok, and non-biodegradable, ito yung waste o basura na hindi siya nabubulok. So now, separating mixtures remove unwanted materials, thus making these materials available for utilizing them for different purposes. Okay, sa mga malaking anong tawag nito, yung sa ng mga basura, mga ngalakal, kapag mapapanood niyo yan kapag mag-search tayo sa YouTube, then may mga separating techniques doon na sa malaking factory doon sila, kapag ang mga metals ay ma-separate siya, ginagamit na lang siya ng magnet. And aside from that, kapag ang isang materials mo dito, ito na, okay, ito, sasadyain natin itong i-mix, ito, iron filling, and this sand, or, sand, wag na lang sand, kasi ang sand is na-attract siya sa magnet. Powder na lang, sugar, ganon. So, when we mix this, and we use of this, magnet bar, so automatically naman the iron or this metal is attracted to the magnet. So mahiwalay talaga siya kasi madidikit siya sa magnet kaya it's very easy to separate that kind of mixture with the use of that magnet. So simple, so super. And then marami pa pong example ng separating mixture na ginagamit na siya ng magnet. Okay, here, can you identify some techniques in separating mixtures? So, yes or no? In what ways can you separate the different mixture found at home as illustrated in figure 2 below? So, ito naman yung figure 2. So, this lesson will help you to learn more. Happy learning! So, ito yung water, sana oil. Nakakaloka lang. Sana oil. So, ito talaga yung oil. Get milk, the fresh milk. And hello. And pinapatuyo natin yung cloud. So, what kind of separating mixture daw ang meron dyan sa figure 2? The different sample of materials at home. So, now, in particular, some mixture needs separating techniques to be able to recover the needed materials. So the method of separating the substance that make us mixture depends on the physical properties of the mixed materials or substance. So now, may ibang mixtures talaga na kailangan natin separating techniques para ma-recover siya para din magamit pa natin siya ulit. So, the method technique substance makes up this mixture depends on the physical properties. So, okay, when we say physical, yung appearance of that certain substance. So, now, a mixture of solute. So, when we say, ito na yung sa previous lesson natin, yung solute, then solvent. Solute, ito yung hinahalo sa solvent. Solvent talaga is more on liquid siya. The universal solvent is the water, and it's all. Now, a mixture of solute and solvent may be allowed to stand to let us undissolved substance to settle down at the bottom of the container. So now, example, ang solute natin is sand, ang solvent natin is water. So now, if we have that mixture, automatically naman na hindi siya na-dissolve yung sand sa water. That is why we have the beach. Meron tayong baybaying dagat. So, hindi naman na-dissolve yung sand dun sa sea water. So now, let's assume that we have that, we put the sand inside the jar and then we put 3/4 of water. So, automatically, na-settle down at the bottom yung sand or yung solute. Okay, now, so the liquid may be poured slowly to leave the solid particles. So this method is known as decantation. So, yun na nga. It is the jar. So let's imagine the jar. Then yung sand that bali 1/4 siya dun sa 3/4 na water. So, it is easily to separate by using decantation process. So, i-move lang natin or i-slant or dahan-dahan lang natin ibubuhos yung water or yung solvent sa mixture na yun, tapos iwan lang yung sand. So, this is a very simple separating mixture na naging sample natin. Aside from the handpicking, ano yung isa? Sa magnet and decantation. Ito yung sobrang ito yung palagi nating ginagawa. Una, handpicking. Pangalawa, sa magnet. and then decantation. So another example, you think another example for decantation, handpicking, and the use of the magnet. So there's a lot of examples, di ba? So hindi natin siya masyadong kasi very easy to understand. So kailangan nyo na lang i-demonstrate para makuha natin yung objectives natin. So, other materials that can be separated by this method are the oil and water. So, ito na yung sinabi ko kanina sa figure 1. So, now, on the mixture of kerosene and water, so, ito na po yun. Okay, so, now, kukulayan natin na siya. Iisipin naman natin na ang oil is mabigat. Yung density ng oil is mabigat talaga kaysa water. So, that is why ito yung oil sa bottom and water sa taas. So, it is very easy to decant or i-separate yung water from the oil. Pero not necessarily na 100% na makukuha talaga yung water, but unless 70% naman is nakukuha yung water. So now, another way of separating mixture is the evaporation. So applying heat will cause the liquid in mixture to evaporate, leaving the other components of substance matter. For example, ito na nga yung kanina. Ito. By the process of evaporation, kaya natutuyo yung mga damit natin kapag natural heat ang nakukuha natin from the sun. So, kapag binibilad natin yung mga anything na nababasa, nasa-separate na yung water from ang water molecules doon is ina-absorb na siya ni sun. And then, yun, natutuyo. Yung damit natin, dry na siya. Kaya, kasi, na-apply na doon yung evaporation process of separating mixture. So, ganun po siya. So, balik tayo. So, now, yun yung first example natin, yung natural heat. So, ito naman yung an artificial heat. Okay, di ba kayo nung grade 5 pa kayo, tapos, yung mga, dahil naulan din yon, tapos nagagawa tayo ng experiment, instead na sa grade 6 ko yun gagawin, yung mga nag-graduate na grade 6, sa inyo ko, in-explain yon. Naalala niyo yun na gumawa tayo ng asin, di ba? So, yung salt, hinalo natin sa water, and then nilagay natin yun sa white na tapos pinapatuyo natin siya. Boiled hanggang sa tumuyo yung nawala na yung water through the process of evaporation, yung naiwan na lang yung salt. Yung paano natin ginawa yung asin na yon, di ba? Pinaghalo natin yung putik, yung sand, and salt, and water. Then, ginamitan natin siya ng filter. Naalala nyo yun? Tapos, yung solution na yon, di ba, natunan na yung asin. Then, ginagamitan natin siya ng filter paper. Nagiging na siya. Yun ang ginawa nating asin. Tapos, meron na siyang mga crystallized salt. Crystallized salt. So, ito na yung paano natin gumawa ng asin through that evaporation process. Naalala nyo yun? I-comment nyo yun kung naalala nyo yun. Diba? Parang naalala, kayo yun, yung batch na yun, na gumawa tayo sa loob ng classroom. Tapos, pero konti lang kayo nun, dahil, ngayon nga, tag-ulan din nun, tapos, sa inyo ko yung ginawa, kasi walang ang pasok. So, now, evaporation is a technique used to separate homogeneous mixture which there are one or more dissolved substance. Di ba na-dissolve na yun, di ba? Nalala nyo yun? Charot. So, the method derives of the liquid components from the solid components. So, the process typically involves heating the mixture until liquid evaporates into water vapor. So, yung mga nausok-usok na dun, pero naano din natin siya kapag dun sa yung gagamitan na nating flask, ganon. So, there are many ways of which evaporation takes place in our community or at home. So, meron pa nga another example niyan na makikita nyo, ito pala yung evaporation. Madali lang pala. Magsasabi kayo ng ganun dahil, yun na nga. So, ito na nga yung lesson na yun. So, the drying of wet cloths, ito na yung example ko kanina, under the heat of the sun is caused by the evaporation of water molecules, thus cause the drying of clothes. So, in-explain ko na yan kanina. So, the cooling of hot milk or tea was caused by the evaporation of hot molecules of the surface, thus, it becomes just enough for drinking. So, di ba kapag mainit yung hot coffee, hot milk, hot tea, and then, pinag-call natin siya, nawawala yung hot molecules niya, kaya madali na natin siyang inumin dahil hindi naman siya malamig, hindi rin siya sobrang init. Katamtaman na lang siya after that evaporation, nagsialisa na kasi yung hot molecules doon. So, when cooking rice or heating foods, evaporation takes place that cause changes in the materials. So, be cautious when cooking. Extreme heat will cause immediate evaporation of liquid and materials, and if left unattended, they will cause fire. Okay, so di ba, pag nakalimutan mo, ay, nagpakulo ka pala, o naggulay ka na may sinabawang gano'n, tapos na iwanan mong nakawasindi pa yung stove. So, kailangan natin itandaan talaga na nagluluto pala tayo, ganyan, kasi pag sobrang init na yun, tapos walang-wala na yung liquid doon, or yung tubig, magkukos yun ng fire. Gets na? So, extra careful. Okay, so now, that's okay. Alam ko excited kayo nito dahil alam nyo na to. So, have you seen your mother brew the coffee or in a coffee maker and then pass the coffee and the water in a filter? So, yun ang palagi nating ginagawa na natin to dahil yun nga, maswerte kayo dahil wala nga akong klase nun sa grade 6 na yon. So, sa ngayon, grade 6 na kayo, sana na nasa isip nyo pa rin yung ginawa nating experiment na yon. Okay? So, ayun na nga ang example natin. Naggawa tayo ng mixture of sand, mud, salt, and water. So, yun ang ginagawa natin. We use a funnel, we use the filter paper. So, that is the process of filtration. Then, pagkatapos nyo ng filtration, yung ginawa nating evaporation, gumawa tayo ng asin. So now, ito na nga yun. Ang galing. So now, this aromatic coffee is separated by the granules by filtration. Okay. Naalala yung may mga kape na kapag nasa mga movie kayo nanonood. Kasi sa atin lang, 3-in-1. At saka yung Nescafe Classic. Ganun. No need naman talagang may filter. Yung kape talaga na pakuluan mo lang yun. Yung mabangong-mabago yan. Yan palaging nasa Starbucks, sa mga coffee, yun, ganun. And then, pinakuluan mo yung granules na yun, tapos, idadaan mo pa siya sa filter paper. So, yun, magiging kape na. Tapos, isa-serve na. Tapos, naiiwan lang yung tira-tira dun kasi nasasala nga siya sa filter paper. Or, meron ding hindi na gumagamit ng filter paper. Pwede damit na puti. Yung malinis ha. Huwag yung yun, isasala din yun. Nakakasala din siya ng any tiny, makikita naman yan. So now, the filtration is the process of separating an insoluble solid from the liquid substance by allowing the liquid to pass through the porous materials as seen in the figure 5. So, ito na nga po yun. So, the porous materials, ang porous materials is nag-absorb ng water na ina-allow niya mag-pass yung solvent doon. And then, so now, the method of separation applies only to suspensions because solute and colloidous particles are too small to be retained on the filter paper. So, in this process, the filter paper allows the liquid to pass through it and retain the solid particles. So, ibig sabihin, solid siya, natatrap ang solid, so ang tatagos ay yung liquid. So, now, the solid is called the residue. Residue, ang tawag nito kasi yan yung natatrap na solid particles. So, while the liquid is called the filtrate. So, ito na yung sinasala. For example, ito na yung ginawa nga natin dun sa salt, sa sand. Tapos, di ba, nagiging putiin na siya kahit na sobrang dumi, sobrang black yung kulay. Tapos, ginamitan natin siya ng filter paper. Di ba, clear na yung filtrate niya, clear, tapos ginawa natin asin, tapos ininom pa nga natin yun charot. Tapos tinikman din natin yung asin naalala niyo yun? Okay, so now, in mixture of the grains of sand in water, the grains of sand cannot pass through the chest cloth. Grains of sand separate from the water when it passes through the chest cloth. So, this method of separating mixture is the filtration. So, same as the, ano pa rin siya kanina sa filter paper, ginamit natin. So, in filtration solutions, our gases pass through the filter, but the particles which cannot fit through the filter are trapped by it. An example of this is to filter a mixture of pepper and water. So, in the laboratory, filtration is carried out using the filter paper, but we also use the filtration at home, like when in tea strainer, face mask, food strainers are used in common language. When we sieve, salaan. So, ito na nga, sieving is another example of separating mixture. So, sieve, salaan. Excuse me. So, it's used, this method is known as the sieving. So, the example of this, when a coconut milk is separated from the created coconut mix, yung kinayod na ng coconut meat. And then, di ba, pag nagata tayo, yun ginamit, ganun, tapos gamit tayo ng siever para ma-separate ang yung mga residue na solid particles, then yung gata, yun na yung nandun gagamitin natin sa food. So now, the smaller particles when mixed with other materials tend to settle at the bottom, leaving the larger materials in the strainer. So, ito na nga sinasabi ko, yung mga larger particles, nare-retain siya or natatrap siya dun sa sieve. So, another example of sieving is when the strainer is used to separate gravel and sand in construction site. So, diba nakikita nyo magiging gaganon lang. Kasi, sineseparate nila yung gravel and sand. Charot. So, this sand will pass through easily the strainer and the gravel left in the sieve. So, yung naiiwan siya yung gravel, yung nandun sa baba, yun yung sand. That's why, gravel and sand. Okay, so now, sana may absorb yun sa mind nyo, ha? At home, cooked pasta is separated from water by using strainer. Kahit hindi naman pasta, maano naman natin yung noodles, pansit canton. Kag mo nagpakulo ka ng pansit canton, tapos gagamitan natin yung siever. Diba, na yung tubig na hiwalay na natin. So, ganun. So, in the kitchen, or in the bathroom, you will see some pieces of materials or hair trapped in the strainer. So, di ba sa mga CR natin, maraming, kapag naliligo tayo, yung buhok natin naglalaglagan, pero nakita natin dun sa strainer, yung mga may butas-butas, yun, naiwan yung buhok dun sa So, this will prevent hairs and other waste materials to clog in the sink or in the drains. Sa CR, sa lababo, kahit na sa mga creek or sa kanal, na dapat meron mga ganun para hindi na magbara-bara yung mga para madali lang natin siyang ihiwalay. Madali lang siyang tunin din para hindi na siya magka-cause ng harm. So, separating mixture by using a magnet. So, ito na nga, may be used for separate mixture when one of its components is magnetic like iron filings. So, ito na nga, magagamit lang tayo ng magnet kapag ang isang materials ay attracted siya sa magnet. Ay, useless naman kapag ang dalawang materials, for example, asin at asukal nagkahalo, gagamitan mo pa siya ng magnet? Hindi naman pwede yun kasi hindi naman attracted yung salt sa kahit nyo pa. Hindi. Kailangan talaga may isang attracted sa magnet, like metal, yung mga hair clip, thumbtacks, tapos nahalo siya dun sa yun ang pwede din sand, kasi ang sand parang na-attract siya sa magnet. So, yun lang po. So, this, saan na ba tayo? Yan. So, the mechanical separation involves the use of tools such as magnets, forceps. Ang forceps yung mga parang yung pagtanggal siya ng sa kilay, sa kilay. Parang ganun siya. And then, and sieves to separate solids and mix it together. So, the magnetic materials is attracted by the magnet, leaving the non-magnetic materials behind. So, the substances that are not soluble and mixed with solute may be separated by sieving or filtration. So, ito na nga sinasabi ko, kapag kaya naman ni sieving at saka ni filtration, na wala na kung, for example, yun nga, sinabi ko kanina, na kung walang attracted talaga sa mixture na yun, why using magnet, di ba? Hindi na kailangan magnet. For example, kapag yung ano ng hikaw mo, tapos nandun sa ano, you use magnet para ganun-ganun mo na, gilapin mo siya, kailangan mo magnet para dumikit na yung ano ng hikaw mo. Ganun lang, kasimple. So, ito yun. So, now, okay, the use of magnet to separate metals materials is illustrated in figure 7. Ito na. So, it's useful in mining irons as iron is the attracted to a magnet. So, in many industries, this method is separating mixtures in ecological and environmentally sound practice as this method removes metals contaminants from product streams. So, separating mixtures are very helpful at home. So, depending on the appearance of the materials or their uses, mixtures are separated. So, the chart below tells about the benefits of mixtures and the methods by which they are separated. So, ito na yung explain ko sa part 2. So, that's all for now. That's all for today. And I hope you like it. Okay, if you have a question, violent reaction, and leave your comment below. Mababasa ko yung comment niya. I will answer that through messenger or what, or directly I can answer your questions. So don't forget to like, to subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more updates para updated kayo kapag meron akong bagong upload. So that's all for today. Bye bye.